what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Bev Try Thinking, Paul Hall, Arwin, and Tentman in G+, together with a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome, one and all.
Good morning, all.
Hello. Morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Any signs of a physical, geometric sphere edge horizon, formerly known as Earth curve?
Not from their phony X on their page, and not from SpaceX either.
Yeah, we'll get
We
to
don't need a
SpaceX.
geometric horizon.
You can't have gas pressure without a container. Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container? If SpaceX is going
Absolutely
to space,
not.
then they're going to a sky vacuum. Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container, as asserted the destination of SpaceX was? I can hear someone keen in
That's
Discord.
why it's
Hold on.
it's phony, because you can't.
Hold on, there was someone in Discord keen to get a word in. Go on. No, just wanted to talk through me describing it. Okay, great, thank you.
As phony as the person in Discord who doesn't show up. That's how phony SpaceX is.
So no evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container, and yet the claimed destination of SpaceX is space, a sky vacuum.
Yeah, no evidence.
Yeah. They're actually talking about it on a sports show I watch. It's a joke.
Moving on. Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Nope, none whatsoever.
No evidence of a non-inertial reference frame.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Speaking of
What's
non-inertial
gravity?
reference frames, yeah. Well, that's funny. I was watching a video this morning about gravity, and the reference frame issue came up a lot. You know, I mean, it depends on, like, they did talk about the Earth accelerating up towards your feet. You know, and the inertial, non-inertial, I can't remember exactly what they said, but so my ground is rushing up towards my feet, causing gravity. The ball is standing still, you know, not moving, but the Earth is rushing up to meet it. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty crazy.
The old net
You get what
force
I mean?
zero nonsense. Any scientific evidence of gravity, though, other than a presupposition, giving you a net force of
No.
zero?
No scientific evidence, just a bunch of mathematical construct and reference frames.
Oh dear, that's not so good. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Any word
Nope,
from Dr.
nothing
Becky?
new.
I don't know, we'll have to
about
ask. Any
Dr.
word from Dr.
Faulkner?
Becky? Says Unbelievable Productions.
Oh,
Nope.
but before you move away too far from gravity, he did say in the video, even in the video, gravity is not a force. He actually said that.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. They say one thing one day and say the opposite the next day and feel like they're got something to offer mankind.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
More made up stuff.
What about the distance to the sun? Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
Nope.
Arwin. Arwin. Arwin.
It's over there. It's over there.
Any evidence of the R value? Earth radius.
Lately, they've
I had
been
a
crying
question.
all over it. They can't find it. They can't see it.
Oh, I take it you guys couldn't hear me?
No, we can now, though. Good to hear you.
Now we can.
You said you had a
Right,
question,
'cause I was
Ed.
pretty much loudly commenting for a while, and don't know what's going on.
Do you have a question about the R
Ruckus had
value, Ed?
evidence.
Clearly not. Well, that concludes the housekeeping. Excellent stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No one's been able to come here from the baller side and give us anything a valid statement even for any of the housekeeping questions. And now,
It's here.
based on the
Hold on,
what's that?
10th man, just 1 second. Yes,
Oh,
we can
that's
hear
Ed.
you. I don't know if we're having audio issues together today. Ed, happy together with audio issues.
Okay. Well, I had a question about the core. Let me rephrase. I have a question about the magnetic field around the Earth. How do you think that's caused if it's not from the core?
Right, you're
So,
trying to
what?
peg me into a false dichotomy. Why would you do
So,
that, Ed?
how is a molten iron causing a magnetic field?
It's
Ed?
my bad. Just
Can
1
you
second,
explain
Darwin.
that?
Just 1 second. So why would you want to peg me into it? Is pummeling the idea of a self-perpetuating molten iron core developed from this, what we can see on screen now, this backstory of Thea smashing into the Earth at a glancing blow, depositing its molten iron core to line up with the timelines of how long it should have been before Earth's core cooled down? That whole bullshit story, because we're pummeling it and it has no evidence to back it and no one's ever demonstrated a molten iron core, you want me to justify the fields around Earth? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I have no idea. Doesn't mean we've got a molten iron core, though. That little false dichotomy won't work here.
No, I'm just
How
asking
does
if you have any
Yeah, why are
idea
you
how
asking
it
me?
works then
Sorry,
on the flat Earth model.
is this somehow going to be associated with me now being an expert on molten iron cores or magnetic fields? Because I'm not. But I know it definitely hasn't been proven in any way, shape or form that we have a self-perpetuating, beyond the Curie point, molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth. That definitely isn't proven in any way, shape or form. But me knowing about what causes the magnetic field, I don't know. I have no idea. Just here to pummel heliocentricity into the ground and their assertions about those magnetic fields, which I don't know what the cause of is.
Okay, well, I wasn't asking you specifically, like the whole panel, so maybe...
Other than when you asked specifically me.
Well, I was asking everyone on the show.
Yeah,
so
but
maybe
I've just
somebody
pointed out
else
as the
has.
host that little false dichotomy won't work. You saying, well, what causes it then? Well, I don't know. And if anybody else on the panel wants to hypothesize about what causes it, I'll just shut them down too. Because who cares? Nobody here is going to give you the answer to that question. However, there is a positive claim about what causes it. Not from us. I know you're trying to get us to make a positive claim so that we can have a little argument about who's got the best answer, your bullshit model or our just so story that we offer in opposition or answer to your question. The point is that would be a false dichotomy. And I'm not going to buy that. Not at all. I will pummel the molten iron core story though, because that's the positive assertion that's being made. Not by me, by you and your religious belief and your faith in heliocentrism, this sun-centric religion that you have. You've got a positive claim about what happens at the centre of Earth, not me.
Quantum Erasure said you should never describe things as they are not. So,
Sorry, I can
are
debunk
you
a
just going
claim.
to do that?
Sorry, I can
Or-
debunk a claim. I'm not describing what it's not, I'm debunking your claim of what it is. So you want to prove you've got a molten iron core, you be my guest.
May I, Nathan?
Go ahead, 10th man.
Ed, please describe premature sycamore pollination in the north of England on the globe. Go.
You were cutting out. Was that a question?
He asked you to
Yes.
explain premature sycamore pollination in the north of England on a globe. Go. Just before you do, your failure will prove Earth's flat.
Yep.
So you're just going to change the subject then? I guess.
No, it's highlighting the false dichotomy and just so story that's being dictated without any justification of the claim in the first instance. Your claim is molten iron core, and what you've done is you've asked me to justify some nonsense for no reason. Now, I don't make claims about why we have magnetic fields. I know we've got them. I don't know why, and I don't make any claims why. But there's a positive claim from your religious faith in heliocentrism, and we can pummel that into the middle of next week.
Yeah, the question is any scientific evidence of a molten iron core?
Not even scientific, any evidence.
True, any evidence, exactly.
Pictures in the books, maybe? Cartoon?
No, I mean, what I'm expecting next is a begging the question fallacy followed by an affirming the consequent utilising the magnetic fields. That's what we'll get next. Who's going to take a pound bet on that?
I've got evidence on screen that something that has a liquid center will not maintain its spin.
Is this rude?
Remember what's that?
Is it rude?
No, it's not rude. It's the spinning egg experiment. Remember that?
Okay.
The raw egg, the boiled egg. I've got no sound going on. I'll get it going again. It's about a minute long.
About to go on to a different video.
Oh, sorry. Back. Come on, back. Go back. Okay, here we go. It's about a minute long. There's no sound, but you can watch it.
Just if you can get it to the part that's irrelevant, just don't play it. Just scrub through it and describe it because it's not my video.
Okay. Here he's got a raw.
Can you make it full screen?
Egg.
Can you make it big?
Oh yeah. He's got a raw egg and a hard-boiled egg. He's got a plain surface. There's the hard-boiled egg. He basically takes each egg and spins it. Oh, sorry. Of course, Jesse decides to scream, but he spins each egg and shows that they only the hard-boiled egg will continue to spin, while the raw egg will not spin. Oh, it will spin for a short amount of time, but then stop. So I can't. If you want me to play it, it's hard to say without watching it go.
Yeah, if you can play the little bit where one's spinning and one's not for a couple of seconds, I'll probably get away with that. Hopefully.
Okay. That's the raw egg. And that's the hard-boiled egg. There you go. Quick and short.
I see. So you get a distinct, pronounced spin from the hard-boiled egg, and you don't from the one that's raw.
Right. And how long is the Earth supposed to be spinning for how long? With a molten, which molten means liquid, right? It's been spinning for how long?
Very cool.
Well, to your point, it is slowing down.
What your presupposed molten iron core that you haven't proven?
No, the spin of the Earth, I mean specifically.
Oh, the presupposed spin. What evidence do you have for axial rotation, Ed? What evidence do you have for axial rotation? As opposed to just begging the question and telling us that it is spinning and is slowing down?
Oh, well, I don't know from the top of my head, but I can look up thousands of things right now. It's weird that you
Name
have-
5. Go. Name 5.
It's always the same, isn't it?
Name 5.
Name 5? Name 5 things that you think explain magnetic field of the Earth.
Sorry,
we can play that.
magnetic fields aren't anything proving anything unless you beg the question of a molten iron core now, are they? So what, you are going to affirm the consequent then? Go on then. How is the molten iron core proven by magnetic fields? Go.
I was asking you to explain how you think it works on the flat
Yeah, I
Earth.
realised.
You
So
just
circle jerking
won't
asshole,
answer.
we're back to you demanding that I buy into your what was it? False dichotomy. No, mate, I don't owe you an explanation for magnetic fields, and magnetic fields don't prove a molten iron core unless you affirm the consequent. So are you going to affirm the consequent and tell me that if we have magnetic fields, it'll prove we've got a molten iron core? We've got a molten iron core because obviously we've got magnetic fields. Are you going to do that? Because that's your only way of utilising these magnetic fields to beg the question of a molten iron core. So you're going to affirm the consequent, or you're going to continue by demanding I buy in to this false dichotomy you want me to have with you? No, mate, I'm not going to defend a position I haven't made a claim about. You've got a molten iron core claim. So you defend your position. Either affirm the consequent so I can have a damn good laugh at your logical fallacy use, or just accept that you haven't got any proof for this molten iron core that you're begging the question of.
I hope quantum erasers are listening.
Sorry, is this on to an ad hom to one of my cohorts? No, mate. Molten iron core, that's your claim, not mine. I don't have a claim about magnetic fields or molten iron cores, even if you affirm the consequent by saying one proves the other, which it doesn't. We all done? No evidence of a molten iron core? Just an affirming the consequent where you claim magnetic fields prove them?
Yeah, so you're just saying what something is not.
Sorry, where's these 5 proofs of axial rotation? We've pummeled the molten iron core. All you've got is an affirming the consequent with magnetic fields.
Oh, well, I've got a list of some things right here, if you want to listen.
Right, are you inferring that I'm not listening to you?
Proofs or assertions?
Yeah, I have been listening to you.
All right. The path dropping a ball from a tall tower. Oh, I get it.
Right, we're on to a different subject. Molten iron core, then claimed that we were spinning and slowing down. Now we're on to something else, are we? Are we on to something else? Or is this a claim that proves what are you proving, mate? Are you making a new claim? What is this?
No. The last thing you asked was axial rotation, so that's what I was talking about.
Axial rotation. Right, okay. So list
So you're
the
not
5
going to
then.
answer the
So you said
molten
there was
iron core one
thousands.
first?
Hold on, he said there was thousands of proofs. So list 5.
Let's see. Different weights of objects at different latitudes.
The Ethos effect isn't a proof.
Gyroscope
Hold on.
test from
Stop. What? Sorry, that's the Ethos effect. That's not proof that Earth spins. Ethos effect doesn't prove you spin. This mathematical model of nonsense doesn't prove anything. So moving on, that's not one. Ethos effect does not prove Earth spins.
Right, so you're just denying it, I guess.
Oh, you want us to take you by the short hairs, do you? I want you to list 5. So far, 0 for 1. Do you want to list the other 4?
Well, yeah, dropping a ball from a tall tower does not fall straight down. All right, I get it. The ball does.
And?
If you drop it from high.
And?
Well, that's because the Earth spins.
Oh, I see. So we're going to affirm the consequent. So you are going to... You didn't use the fallacy for molten iron core, but you are going to use it here. So you're affirming the consequent then. If the Earth is turning, when I drop a ball, it won't drop straight. When I drop a ball, it doesn't move straight, therefore Earth is turning. No, that's just an affirming the consequent form of logical fallacy. One doesn't prove the other.
Right,
It's 2
so
it's
you're
2-0,
denying
mate.
it.
2 attempts, 0 proofs of Earth spin so far. Do you want to go on? Third one?
You guys are going backwards.
Third one? We've
Does
got
it
2
really
so far.
matter if I go on? You're just gonna deny it again.
You mean
So-
sorry, deny? No, debunk. Point out the logical fallacy attached to you dropping a ball with a presupposition that Earth spin causes it. That's a logical fallacy. That's not denial. How dare you? When I rip your nonsense to pieces, it's not me denying it. It is me concisely ripping it to shreds.
I'm just
you're
baffled that
denying it
I
and
believe
laughing.
that
How
things-
dare you? I'm not denying your logical fallacy. It is flawed logic to assert that Earth turn, a presupposition, is affirmed by dropping a ball is a formal logical fallacy known as affirming the consequent. Not sound logic, logical fallacy. That's not denial. That's ripping your argument to pieces. Second time. Call it denial again and I'll kick you out. You don't have to like that I'm pummeling you and your nonsense use of fallacy. Okay? It's not denial. Second time.
Then what's the real reason it happened?
Oh, so it's now time for you to get me to assert something as a claim so you can hold it up in false dichotomy? Have you only got 2 tricks in your book? I haven't made a claim, dickhead. Have I? So we're at 2-0 so far. 0.
Yes, you did.
0 claims that prove Earth spin, Etvos effect, and dropping a ball. Both fails. Moving on. 0 for 2, mate. You got 5? Apparently there's thousands. Just rattle them off.
If you're gonna claim that's not the reason it happened...
No, I'm gonna not claim it. I'm gonna debunk it based on its use of logical fallacy. That's the 3rd time, mate. You're testing my patience. You're gonna rattle off 3 more? You said you had thousands.
What is he trying to prove right now?
But
Earth spin.
That the Earth spins.
No, hold on. You're just gonna scream,
Earth
it doesn't
spin.
prove the Earth spin. And
No, I did not scream it doesn't prove the Earth spin, you lying sack of garbage. I debunked it based on its use of logical fallacy, and you're begging the question of a spinning Earth proven by dropping a ball. That is affirming the consequent. I haven't screamed it doesn't prove it, you liar. I'm sick of this. Anyone else sick of this? That's 3 attempts where he's just basically denied my debunking, so he's projecting. He's denying my debunking. He hasn't challenged it. He hasn't rebutted it. He's just denying it by claiming I've denied his proof that I've debunked. So you are projecting your complete denial of my debunking. You haven't challenged it. You haven't even acknowledged it. You're just denying it, mate. You're just denying my debunking using your logical fallacy detailed and your begging the question fallacy detailed. You're just denying that, mate, and projecting that back onto me.
I'm just
Things I
baffled.
mentioned
I'm really baffled at. Do you really think that every single time, everywhere, at all
I get it.
times,
You
when
mu-
you
you
drop
muted me again.
something, it
Hold on, he
falls
made
to
a
the
claim,
side?
though.
because
Shut up,
of
Ed.
Coriolis?
Ed, can you not hear Arwin talking? Sorry, Arwin.
no, actually, I couldn't.
Well, then try not talking, because that's why you couldn't hear him, because you're cutting him out.
Right.
I said I
Ed?
couldn't hear him.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk now, Ed, so please don't talk through me. Right? So I am really baffled that you believe that at all times, everywhere on Earth, when you drop something, it's gonna deviate to the side instead of just fall straight down because of supposed Earth spin, presupposed Earth spin. You think that always happens? Really? What kind of weird world are you living in?
Really?
Because I'm pretty sure that things always fall straight down unless there's, I don't know, wind or something blowing it to the side or that. But things generally just fall straight down. This is just amazing. That you think that things
Generally,
will
sure,
deviate just falling.
but not always.
Now, sometimes they go up.
What?
Hold up. I just dropped
Yeah.
my
What?
keys. They didn't
Selective?
deviate at all.
What? You think that it's the deviation sometimes is there and sometimes it's not? Suppose
It depends on the height, how strong you can see it. Sure.
Yeah, but you're not going to be proving that's caused by Earth turn now, are you? That's just a begging the question, affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy as pointed out and ignored 3 times. You just denied my
No, you can
debunking,
do it in
mate.
a
You just
vacuum
denied
chamber.
it and then projected your denial onto me, and now you've ignored it completely. So I've debunked your claim. Your claim isn't affirming the consequent. That's the 5th time I've said that. 5th time. You're just denying my debunking of it because you don't like it.
The tests have been done in a vacuum chamber.
Oh, so you're going to
Where's the
completely
wind?
ignore my last statement. So when Nathan debunks my statement by pointing out its use of fallacy, I will leave a stony silence and continue the conversation with my fallacy in place rather than acknowledging what I'm then going to project onto Nathan as a denial of my claim after ignoring the rebuttal. So you are literally going to ignore the fact that I have debunked this and continue by claiming it. Why? That's very disrespectful. I've debunked it. Why are you denying my debunking, Ed?
Because it's not a debunking. It's
Oh, really? So it's sound logic. So assuming Earth spins and assuming dropping something proves that it's spinning, that's sound logic, is it?
I'm not assuming anything. There's been
You're assuming Earth spinning because you're not proving it. You're saying if Earth spins, then it will deviate if I drop a ball. That's assuming it. You dumb moron.
Hey, Ed, if what you
No, it's
just
actually
said
evidence.
is,
It's not. Oh, so it's evidence. So it's not a formal logical fallacy where you assume your outcome and then affirm it with something that you do. It's not that. It's just evidence.
No.
No, it's a formal logical
No,
fallacy. Ed, you're really testing my patience. You're just denying my debunking, my pointing out that you're using fallacy. You're just denying it.
I'm not denying or
Yeah, you are. You're saying, nah, you're denying my proof. No, I'm not screaming it's not spinning, your lie that you told, in place of my debunking. My debunking was to point out that it's a formal logical fallacy based on a begging the question fallacy. That's what I actually said. You haven't acknowledged that once. You lied and said that I screamed, no, it's not turning. That was a complete lie. You went on to project your denial of my debunking onto me.
So can I get more than one word out?
Oh, so now it's and I'm not getting to talk. You talked, I listened. You claimed I didn't listen. Yeah? You said I wasn't listening when I listened to every damn word that you said. Then I went on to debunk it, something that you completely ignored. Left stony silences, only to continue the argument with your fallacy still in place, having not once on 6 occasions acknowledged my debunking. You've just denied it, Ed. And lied. Claimed I screamed it's not turning. That was a lie. You also lied about me. Yeah, he didn't quote me as going, it's not turning! And then that was the end of my debunking. No, it wasn't. That was an outright lie, Ed. So you're a liar?
No, you're just muting me.
Repeat my debunking, bitch. Repeat it.
Looking bad,
Yeah, you
Ed.
can call me a bitch, but
Yeah, bitch. Repeat my debunking, because it wasn't, it's not turning, that lie that you told, in substitution of my actual debunking. No, I want you to repeat it. Bitch.
You want me to repeat?
Yeah! Ed, I want you to repeat my debunking that you claim hasn't come. According to you, Ed, I went, it's not turning, as a debunking. That's a lie. Now I want you to actually acknowledge by repetition my actual debunking. Can you do it? Did you not listen? Didn't you listen?
Sure, I'll do it. Can you let me speak, or are you just gonna talk all?
That's not doing it. That's asking me for permission when I've left open air for you to repeat my demolition of your claim that we spin by dropping a ball by way of a use of a presupposition that Earth is turning, and an affirming the consequent by claiming that dropping a ball proves your presupposition. That wasn't a repetition of what I just stated. That was you asking whether or not I would interrupt.
I said I'm not presupposing, so are you?
Oh, so that's not a repetition of my debunking then? That's a denial of your presupposition. Yeah, you are definitely presupposing Earth spinning. You're not proving it when you beg the question and then affirm the consequent. You haven't repeated any of that back to me. You've just denied it, Ed. Just denying you're begging the question fallacy, eh? Just a denier then. Just denying it, Ed. And lying.
And you're just dismissing the.
Yeah, I am just dismissing it. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm debunking it by pointing out the fallacy. That's not just dismissing it. You unbelievable moron. No, you seem to be deaf. Stating that it is a begging the question fallacy, followed up with a double your trouble formal logical fallacy called affirming the consequent. If P then Q Q, therefore P. If Earth is spinning, I'll see a ball deviate. I see a ball deviate, therefore Earth is spinning. That is a concise demolition and summary of your use of fallacy that you've yet to repeat back to me on 7 occasions of me debunking your claim. You've lied and said that I screamed it's not spinning, and now you've lied and said that I've just merely dismissed it, which I've not. Liar. Scumbag.
If we were living on a non-rotating flat Earth, the ball...
Oh, onto a new claim? Not an acknowledgement of my debunking, a stony silence followed by a new claim? Why aren't you repeating my debunking that you said was just a dismissal? And then you denied my debunking rather than repeating it to demonstrate that you understood it. I don't think you listened, something you claimed I didn't do. I also know that you're just a denier, because that's all you've done.
I'm trying to refine it and see if you still dismiss it.
Refine what? You're begging the question, affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy? You think you can refine logical fallacy? No, mate. It might be nice if you acknowledge my debunking of it, though, or just talk through me while I acknowledge the fact that I have actually debunked it on, it'll be now 8 occasions, by pointing out that you are begging the question of a spinning Earth and then affirming the consequent by dropping a ball and claiming it proves you're begging the question fallacy. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore P. That's affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If Earth is spinning, I'll see a ball deviate, I see a ball deviate, therefore Earth spinning. That's 8 times. Not a dismissal. Not a, it's not spinning! No, those 2 lies are not what I did. 8 times.
So are you going to let me finish the sentence?
You weren't talking. I was debunking your claim for the 8th time. You weren't talking. I wasn't interrupting. I was debunking your claim.
Now you're just shouting over me. So please let me finish the sentence and then you can go.
Woohoo.
So
you finished your sentence and I run the show and I'll do exactly as I damn well choose when I debunk your claim that Earth's spinning for 9 times. Without any acknowledgement, with a few moans that you're not getting to talk enough when you've made your formal logical fallacy. I've debunked it, and then we've got 9 times of denial from you. 9 times of projection from you. Twice lying from you.
are you trying to withhold information from your audience?
Sorry, we've already heard your claim. Is this guy thick? Does he think that me pummeling his argument 9 separate occasions is me censoring his claim that we have heard from the audience?
Yeah, he's thick. He's run out of any answer, so he's just circling around each time.
You useless, Ed. Useless.
Every day.
Hey, Ed, let me ask
I know
you a
I'm
question,
useless,
if
but
I
just
may.
let me finish the
Hey,
sentence.
Ed, this started out about the molten iron core, right? Look where we are now because you can't answer a question. I have you quoted saying in the past show, if gravity is not a force, there are no forces. And now you're basically saying if no molten iron core, then there's no magnetic
Hold
field.
on, I never said there are no forces. That's a strong.
Oh, what was that? Was that Chaiki? So were you the one saying if it's not a globe horizon, no horizon at all? Which one of those did you say?
I never said there are no forces. So
Which one of those did you say? Because I have you quoted on that show 1176. Let me see, what show
yeah,
is that?
listen, you can keep repeating it, but I never said there are no forces.
Well, okay, I'll go look for it, and I'll have it ready for tomorrow's show. That's what I thought I heard you say, and if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. But
Shout
are
out
you
to Good
saying now,
Servant. He says-
self-perpetuating molten iron core, then no magnetic field? Is that what you're saying?
Just 1 second. Shout out to Good Servant who says ballers have no humility. Say he has bad logic. Thank you very much for the super chat. Sorry, 10th time.
No, so you're saying if no molten iron core, then what? No magnetic field? Is that what you're trying to say through all this?
No, I wasn't saying that at all. I'm not presupposing anything. All I did was ask how you think the magnetic field is caused on your non-rotating flat Earth. That's
Sorry, yes, you are presupposing both a molten iron core and Earth turn. Yes, you are presupposing. Don't lie. I've pointed it out. You've just not acknowledged it once. So that's another lie. That's the 3rd lie. You are presupposing molten iron core and you are presupposing Earth turn. You just failed to acknowledge it when I pointed it out 9 times.
Does he know what
What's his-
presupposing means?
What's his evidence of something, a metal magnet or whatever, a magnet being able to maintain its magnetic field when it's molten? What's his evidence for that?
I think that's your
Are you
answer.
just shifting it back to me? Okay, I get it.
What, the one with the positive claim of a molten iron core and earth turn? Yeah, we're definitely going to shift the burden of proof onto the claimant, as it should reasonably there. That's how it should be, mate. You're making the claim. Molten iron core, earth turn. Those are your claims.
This is every day, Nathan. Every day.
I didn't claim the molten iron core.
So we don't have a molten iron core. You're not a heliocentrist. You don't believe that. So that's part of your religion. I don't care what you believe. It's part of the heliocentric religion you abide by. If you're a heliocentrist, you believe there's a molten iron core.
Yeah, but this show is about...
Not yeah, but you mean, yeah, that's absolutely correct, Nathan. While I state that I'm not claiming it, it's part of my religion. So I'm absolutely going to abide by it whether or not I choose to or not. It's part of the bloody religion. So not yeah, but the most pathetic acknowledgement ever.
Isn't this show about flat Earth, though?
It's about your claim of heliocentricity, in this instance a molten iron core, your claim that you are presupposing, and then you are denying... Hello?
Well, he didn't go at it directly. Let me help him out a little bit. Because he did say it's slowing down, because I used the egg experiment, because it's molten, or liquid metal. So him admitting that the Earth is slowing down is admitting that there is a liquid or molten core to the Earth. So just him acknowledging that it is slowing down and indirectly is admitting that it is spinning and that there's a molten iron core.
Okay. Zero humility.
Right, so was that a question for me? I didn't...
Nah, not really.
I was just saying, you could address what I said. When you're admitting that the Earth is slowing
you
down,
cut out for me. I didn't hear it.
Okay. Are you admitting that the spin is slowing down? Because I posted an article or a video showing that the egg slows down there's a pronounced slowing down of a spinning egg. You kind of equated that together because you admitted that the Earth is slowing down. So in that admission, you're admitting that it's molten, and obviously, if there's a molten iron core causing this Earth spinning, I can't even talk straight today. The spinning molten iron core, the spinning Earth, is causing a magnetic field. You're inadvertently admitting that what Nathan is saying is correct. Maybe not directly, but indirectly.
I understand what you're saying, but I was just answering your question. Like you said, isn't the Earth supposed to slow down? Well, yeah, it is. So there you go.
What, when you presuppose it's spinning in the first instance without any proof whatsoever other than affirming the consequent based on a begging the question fallacy? No, it's not supposed to be spinning down. That's based on your presupposition that it's spinning in the first instance. Definitely not spinning. Definitely not spinning. You understand? Let's see if we get a stony silence and zero acknowledgement of the 10th time I've said that. Of course, zero acknowledgement, stony silence. Maybe he'll claim it for an 11th time.
So you want to get back to the axial rotation, or...
What? I've already debunked your 2 claims. You said there was thousands. You didn't even offer 5.
No, you didn't.
Oh, just a denier then. So when you projected that I'm just a denier, your hand wave dismissal denial is actually your own problem that you're projecting onto me then. Just a denial, mate. You're just going to deny my rebuttal? Oh, right. Well, let me assure you, my rebuttal pummeled your affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy based on a begging the question fallacy of earth turning. Okay?
You were denying experimental evidence, Nathan. He gave you a very good example of what experimental evidence that proves we're rotating, and you just dismissed it because you're a science and reality denier.
Experiment? What experiment?
dropping something.
That's
in a
not an
vacuum
experiment.
tower.
That's
It
not an
does
experiment. That's
drop
not a natural
vertically.
phenomena. You're a moron. That's not an experiment.
What it is?
What's the dependent variable?
The deviation from vertical.
Sorry, deviation from vertical is a natural phenomena, is it? Shh. That's a natural phenomena, is it?
Very, very easy.
Sorry, you're not acknowledging it. It's another one of those situations where I state the demolition of your claim that this is definitely not a natural phenomena. There's a stony silence and then perhaps 9 or 10 repetitions of the same claim with a total ignorance of my demolition of it.
Natural?
Or maybe talk through it while I
natural?
repeat it for the second time. Yeah, just talk through it. Shut down communications as I point out that I've pummeled you. And there's just been a stony silence afterwards with a few people giggling in the background. And then 3 interruptions while I point that out. Right, Rumpus? 3 interruptions. I'm still talking. I'm still talking. I'm still talking. If you continue to interrupt me, you'll just be removed. So there was just a stony... Okay, bye-bye, Rumpus. You're not here to constantly interrupt me. When I leave a gap for him to talk, based on a demolition of his claim... There's a stony silence. Then I start to point out that he hasn't responded to my demolition of his claim, and he starts talking through me pointing that out. Asshole. No. I'm going to demolish your claim and then point out to the audience that you haven't responded to it, and there's just been stony silence. And then we'll have, 10 minutes of you saying, am I going to get to talk? Yeah, you made your claim, I debunked it, then there was a stony silence. Then you started to repeat it, having completely ignored me, just like the other dude. Oh, hopefully my clouds are here. Back in a second. Acoustic panels.
He said he didn't hear you. You're being so dishonest.
Ed, prove the earth is spinning first. What's wrong with you? Why are you not getting this? Come on.
Getting what?
You have to prove the earth is spinning first. You can't just say by dropping a ball. What's wrong with you?
There are multiple experiments, but
You
he's just
only came up
dismissing
with
it.
2, and both of them were not experiments. You said
We just covered that with Rumpus. Are you deaf? Didn't you hear what I just said to Rumpus?
Wait a minute now.
Are you deaf? Ed, I just explained that it's not an experiment to Rumpus. There was a stony silence when I asked him for the dependent variable, otherwise known as observed phenomena, natural in nature. Yeah? There was a stony silence.
Yeah, he said he didn't hear you, but you were just raging on.
Oh, right. Oh, I see. He didn't hear me. Oh, I see.
Yeah, he said it like 10 times, but you were shouting again.
Oh, right. So he just coincidentally didn't hear me pointing out that he didn't have a dependent variable natural phenomena. Someone else on the panel heard it and giggled, though.
Yeah, Discord is fucked up. Welcome to Discord.
You were perfectly clear. Now, whoever it was on the panel that heard me point out that he didn't have a natural phenomena and giggled, can you just highlight whether or not you heard me?
Yep.
So it was clear as crystal, doesn't have a natural phenomena. There's that stony silence again. Maybe Discord's broken.
Yeah, maybe you should unmute him and let him talk. How about that, buddy?
I did let him talk. He said he'd got an experiment. I asked him what the Sorry, why are you lying about me, Ed? We all heard him claim that he'd got an experiment, then detail dropping a ball as the experiment. I pointed out that he didn't have a dependent variable when he said the phenomena was deviation.
And he said 10 times, I didn't hear you.
Oh, right, so suddenly he didn't hear my rebuttal. Yeah, we got to that stage before. Everyone else heard. The audience heard. People on Discord heard and laughed. But apparently suddenly Rumpus has got a problem with his hearing. Because it's not Discord, mate. You're going to blame Rumpus's shit hearing?
It be his
I'm talking. I'm talking. There's nothing wrong with Discord, you just can't help interrupting. It seems when I am talking, you need to talk. No, mate. Do you want to blame Rumpus's absolutely atrocious hearing because there's nothing wrong with Discord? I can't help it if he's old and got crappy ears. That's not my problem. If he can't hear me, go and get your hearing tested, Rumpus. Because everyone else heard and laughed at you. Yeah, just coincidence that he didn't hear my pummeling. Just a coincidence, right?
not because of bad internet, Ed. We all heard it. You wasted a whole show on this. Thank you.
Well, just so you know, I'm in Discord now, and I hear everything clear.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the internet connection. It's just a pure coincidence that he didn't hear me right at the moment that I pointed out he hasn't got an experiment to prove Earth spins. That's a total lie. By coincidence, he didn't hear my response. Normally, he'd be talking through it. But he doesn't need to be replying to it, so he better not be hearing it. That's his trick. That's his only left defence that he's got. Claim he didn't hear the rebuttal. I didn't hear that, so I don't need to respond. Oh, I didn't hear it. Oh, really? Maybe you should pay more attention, you moron. Maybe you should get your hearing checked, you moron. Didn't hear it? Well, that's pretty handy, as you needed to respond to the fact you hadn't got an experiment, and that was the end of the argument. But you didn't hear the end of the argument. Oh, my bad. Go and get your hearing checked. Good job I kicked you out. Any more White Knight little defences for him, Ed? White Knight? Ed? Maybe a bit more White Knighting for your man when he was pummeled? No acknowledgement of the argument, I notice. Just discussing how the show's been formatted. Internet connections. Much less worthy things to discuss than how little evidence you have for Earth turning. How much fallacy's been used here today by these gentlemen. How the lies just flow from their mouths when they claim they've got experiments to prove Earth spinning, and they haven't. Lies and deceit has flowed from their mouths, but let's focus on the internet connections they claim they've got when they don't hear the pummeling that comes their way. Yeah? Let's claim that we haven't been heard or haven't had opportunities to talk when we've responded to your claims that we've all heard and have been broadcast to a live audience. Yeah? Not getting opportunities to talk just happens to be declared right after a pummeling.
Pummeling of what exactly?
Did I miss the part where they proved that there's some curvature before there was some spinning?
Yeah, you missed that
Did
part.
I miss that part?
They
Did I
didn't
get here
prove
late?
either.
I see. So there would have to be a ball to be spinning,
way to
right?
detect Earth movement?
I gave you an experiment to detect Earth movement.
But didn't Einstein say there's no way to detect it? Am I wrong about that?
People say a lot of dumb stuff. It doesn't really matter what one guy said, does it?
Exactly.
Special
Right, so what's
relativity
your
garbage,
point, Neil?
exactly.
Your point is you're saying stupid shit.
No, but what's your point?
That we don't
Special
have a molten iron
relativity's
core or a
garbage,
spinning
exactly.
Earth. That's our point. Our point is that your claim is bunk. Your claim that we spin, bunk. Your claim that we've got a molten iron core, bunk. That's our point. Maybe another stony silence. Maybe claim that Discord's not working. Maybe claim that you haven't heard me say 11 times that you're using affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy based on begging the question fallacy. Maybe claim you didn't hear that as you started to talk through it. Maybe claim something. Race car driver excuse, maybe.
Then what causes the ball to deviate if you drop it from a high
Who
place
cares?
in a vacuum?
What is it? Is it now time for a false dichotomy? Same attempt as last time. Only 2 tricks in your bag, 2 logical fallacies. So if you can't prove it based on your begging the question fallacy, well, what's your just so story to go along with my affirming the consequent? Let's insert your begging the question fallacy that you claim. I haven't made any claim about it, moron. This is your claim. I didn't make any claims about dropping balls from buildings. That was you. Why would I be explaining your claim?
The point is that your
So
whole
you
premise
can either accept it
fail.
or debunk it.
I did. It's based on a logical fallacy called affirming the consequent.
No, it's not.
It's also based, while you talk through me, saying it for the 12th time, on a begging the question fallacy of Earth turning in the first instance to prove your demonstration, your Q statement, that if you drop a ball it deviates. That's based on your P statement, which would be Earth that spins, a begging the question fallacy. That is 12 times I've said that.
It's
12
explaining
times
you.
is wrong.
It's explaining you how your whole premise is a failure.
But it's not a premise, though, is it?
It is. It's a claim that
No.
you're making that is based
No,
on.
test it. No. listen,
Okay, make
Silas,
the statement.
I'm doing an
No,
experiment for it.
no, okay, that's okay. Give me a logical syllogism without begging the question that Earth's turning. Go. Let's see this logical syllogism that doesn't require a supposition that Earth's turning first. Let's hear it. There was a lot of long words in there. Did you not understand, Ed? Another stony silence.
Yeah, so you're just cutting me off each time. So I showed you and I told you about the experiment. You're just saying, no, it doesn't. Well,
no, I asked you if you heard what I said to Rumpus. Did you hear what I said to Rumpus?
Oh, God.
Another stony silence. Did you hear what I said to Rumpus? There's no dependent variable. I repeated it to you. I repeated my debunking, and now you're talking through it. I asked you, stony silence. I start to repeat it. You start talking. You didn't hear what I said, and I repeated it to you about 5 minutes ago. You don't have a dependent variable natural phenomena to study if you're just dropping a ball off a building. That's not a natural phenomena you're going to be studying. The claim that it's the apparent deviation you observe is not a natural phenomena. So you're not studying natural phenomena. This isn't science. Now that's been said to Rumpus and repeated to you, now repeated to you for a second time. It's not an experiment.
If we were living on a non-rotating flat Earth, balls would drop vertically. Doesn't.
So reversing the logical fallacy. Sorry, you're reversing the logical fallacy and asserting that it only deviates because of your presupposition that Earth's turning. So we're not isolating variables for this experiment. We're not isolating the wind for the sake of argument. He's not going to listen to the rebuttal. We're not isolating any variables then. We haven't got a dependent variable then. Naturally occurring deviation. No, we're not going to isolate anything. We're just going to affirm the consequent with you begging the question fallacy. And now insert something that nobody has claimed about a non-rotating Earth. And a claim about what balls do, which we have not claimed. This is your claim. Time for a burden of proof reversal fallacy, it seems. So you do have 3 tricks. Wow, the extent of this guy's fallacy is amazing. So it's time to burden proof reversal, yeah? Time that we justify what it doesn't do on a flat Earth. No, mate, we're not making this claim. That's a burden of proof reversal fallacy. Another logical fallacy that will undoubtedly be completely ignored. We're not here to justify your claim. That's burden of proof reversal fallacy.
You do the experiment in a vacuum.
It's not an experiment. Zero acknowledgement of my debunking. It's just a denier. So you're just going to deny my debunking? Keep claiming it. Ignore my debunking, mate. Just a denier.
If you do it in a vacuum, you didn't.
So you're just going to deny my rebuttal then? Ignore it completely.
In a vacuum, you're.
So you are going to deny my rebuttal. Just a denier. We're not moving on. I need an acknowledgement of my rebuttal that you're just going to ignore and carry on with your claim regardless. Am I not being heard, clearly? Was Discord not working? Is that the problem this time? Is that why the stony silence? Or are you just ignoring my rebuttal? Because I think it's the latter. I might be wrong. Maybe Discord's broken.
I'm not ignoring anything. Maybe.
Oh, you're not? You're just carrying on with your claim, having totally ignored and not acknowledged a single word I've said. You're not ignoring it. That's just denial of your own failure to acknowledge my rebuttal. So you are denying your own denial now, it seems.
Yep, you're being kind of ignorant.
You talked about wind. No, Arwin, he talked about wind.
No, he didn't. We talked about dropping a ball and your logical fallacy that you used. You just haven't acknowledged the rebuttal. You're a denier. When your religion of a globe Earth that spins dies, you leave stony silences and then carry on making the same claim. It's pathetic.
We don't live in a vacuum.
So you do the experiment in a vacuum.
It's not an experiment, you see? No acknowledgement that I've debunked this as an experiment without a natural phenomena, without control variables, without a hypothesis, without anything that's required for it to be an experiment. But he's not acknowledged it, you see? He's just ploughed on regardless. Just ignore the rebuttal, deny it by stony silence. Right, Ed? Just ignore it completely and it'll go away. I'm just a little fly that you can just bat out of the way and carry on with your bullshit claim. No, I'll just keep repeating it. I don't mind. What are we up to now? 12 times? I don't mind, mate. It's fun. My audience love it when you idiots get in this cognitive dissonance rut. Round and round you go. And I'm just whipping you down the drain over and over again 12 times. With your fundy mentality, denying it. Projecting it back onto me.
He keeps
May
talking
I-
about a
I'm
vacuum.
answering your
Paul,
supposed
hang on.
rebuttal, but you're not listening.
Oh, you answered my rebuttal when you said that I just screamed it's not spinning. No, you just lied. Then you claimed I denied your claim when I rebutted it and you failed to acknowledge or repeat it. No, mate, that's just another lie.
Hey, Nathan, let me address Ed here. So I went back to show 1174 at the 1 minute 42 mark, 18 seconds. And Ed, learned something here. QE was talking to you, and Chaiki interrupted, and it was Chaiki who said, if gravity is not a force, there are no forces. So I misapplied that statement to you because it was a conversation that he interrupted between you and QE. So I stand corrected. It was also Chaiki that said, if it's not a globe horizon, there's no horizon at all. So this is how you admit you're wrong. You go check it. And I said I would apologize if I'm wrong. So I apologize for misquoting you there, because in the shambles of the talk, Chaiki interrupted. I thought it was you still talking. So accept my apology. But that being said, you still have not answered the same thing that went on about the molten iron core has to be there for the magnetic field. So isn't that begging the question?
We didn't even get to that.
You can have the last word.
But he kept jumping. I'm trying to hold him to that one.
Well, why? He's like a ball filled with air. You're trying to hold him underwater. He's just gonna float back up again.
Because when I misapplied the quote to him, it sounded very similar to that when he said about the molten iron core proves there is a magnetic field. So then I said, so if there is no molten iron core, then no magnetic field, and I'm still waiting for an answer. Is there another way we can have a magnetic field without a molten iron core?
It's just as ridiculous as the whole
Arwen, I'm
Coriolis
asking him
thing.
a question. Is there another way we can have a magnetic field without a molten iron core, Ed?
That's what I was asking you guys, but you never
Well,
answered.
he gave you the answer, didn't he? Nathan gave you the answer, didn't he? You weren't listening.
What was my answer, Ed?
No, he didn't.
What was my answer?
Oh, your answer was that I was presupposing stuff, as always.
No,
So-
that wasn't my answer in regard to your question about what is actually causing it. I did give you an answer. It seems 10th man heard it. Can you not repeat it? Oh, maybe it's you not listening, Ed.
Yeah, that's cute. So you want to get back to the ball?
Oh, so you're not going to repeat
or
my
you
answer
just,
then? So just cute
run away
when you
from-
don't know, when you can't repeat it, you can't listen. How cute. That's cute, Ed. I'd try and pay a bit more attention, baller. That's cute, man. You can't listen. Cute. Very cute. With that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you tuned in live. Hopefully smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Stay tuned if you are watching on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, as there will be an after show to follow. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!